COT data video for the week beginning of the 4th of December. Let's say the 3rd, that's tomorrow. I'm used to doing it on Sunday, and so Christian's done it for us on a Saturday, which is great. It's really cool. So we can have some time to digest this information. Now remember, if you're part of Patreon as a paid subscriber, Bulletin tier upwards, you'll get access to this file in Discord. Now I have just put it into Discord, so everyone's free to use it, but please don't share it outside Discord. Use it for your own personal use. It is free data that's accessible online, but it's Christian's compilation of that data. That's obviously we need to protect, because this is his baby, and the way he's done it for us in the COT service. So when you load the file, you have to enable editing. There's like a little security pop-up up here, then you enable the editing and then you can get access to the drop down and stuff. Okay, and so we can see the Euro FX has ticked higher, dollar has ticked lower by 1,000 contracts or so. It went from 20,000 to 19, and we have surged quite a bit on the Euro FX. Quite strong, isn't it? Like I was saying all week in those videos that I've been doing, we have to be very careful about trading against the trend, because we can see how we are trending higher on the Euro versus USD, and that dip that we saw yesterday was there to be bought, because we're ascending. We are got an ascending channel that we are in on the H4, so you're looking for dips, and we had really we did propel higher off that support that I showed you guys in Discord. So remember to trade with the trend. It's really it's such good advice, because you encounter quite a lot of frustration fighting that trend. Then you probably think, well, it will turn around eventually, and by that time it does turn around, you could have made some nice profits going with that flow. Okay, so dollar is ticked down slightly, euro up. Let's look at the yen, because the yen was breaking support last week. We dipped on that support and we are above it now. Slightly more negative, 109 from minus 105. So they had sold the yen from last week. So that's how we stand there. Worth noting is the pound. So we'll take off the euro, look at the pound. Okay, so we had a big surge, tick higher on there. So we are below zero, but we've really surged off that low there. Okay, so that's of note, and so we've got to be thinking to reassess the idea that we had about the pound USD. We were going to look to sell it this week coming. I'm not sure if it's such a good idea, because the retail sentiment, they're very short on the pound, and the net non-coms, they have bought it. And if they continue, we're going to go back into positive territory, and then we could be quite bullish on the pound. So we have to think about, we have to have a reassessment on that idea this week, I think. And if we do break that pitchfork, it could be a sell, but then it could be like a risky sell. So we'll have to look, Monday, Tuesday, and then we can have a look at some setups there on the pound USD. So that's the pound. Okay, so we're quite strong. We ticked up a bit quite high on there. Okay. Pound off, Aussie on, probably going to be erratic. It's quite zigzaggy, isn't it? 77, 71. So they have increased their contract exposure, but we are decidedly negative. Now, the thing is with the Aussie, we had that Chinese PMI beat, and this doesn't take into account that data. So, of course, this is delayed from Tuesday. So I think we'll probably see this tick higher, because that fundamental case for a stronger Aussie, the stronger PMI from China, they've got obviously there's that correlation there. When you've got a strong performance in China, then it tends to favour the Australian dollar, because the transactions and the trade and that correlation. So I think this will tick higher by next weekend. Okay, so this would probably be above that high, but we'll have to wait and see. Aussie off, pound we looked at, we have surged quite a bit. CAD on, falling quite heavily, and 70,000 to 63. So although we're negative, we're less negative, but slightly. It might be interesting if we get this support here. Might be quite bullish on CAD, maybe. If we get that low, we can maybe try and get above zero, which I think the pound's trying to do right now. we're trying to get above that 0 line. Gold on, and that's no surprise. Okay, so be careful about fighting this, because the net non-coms, they're buying and the retail guys are selling, and they have been selling gold for a good while, and we're below the 50% for a good couple of weeks now, and so it tells us that the crowd are holding short. And if they're going to hold short, there's a good chance that they're going to add short because they want to get out of break even. Now the thing is that sort of a slight issue. Technically, we have got some weekly supply, and the retail guys in my FX book, they're really getting paid on their longs, which is quite unusual. Normally the bulls and the bears, they get destroyed, but the retail bulls are making some huge profits. They're enjoying lots and lots of profits on their gold longs. So that's a little bit of an omen, but we don't really want to fight this net non-coms and the fact that the retail guys on the majority are short, but the small minority are profiting a lot, which I guess would be fairly normal. So I'm about to show you actually. I'll just show you this because this is a good aspect of the sheet, and once it loads, of course. Yeah, so what we come to is the QDB scores. As it loads. Oh, slow. So it's quite a large document now. Could probably do with closing some of these down. But we'll come back to this and I'll show you. Oh, here we go. The QDB scores. If we scroll down, look at gold. Okay, so gold, right? So their break even for the bears is 1972, so they're undergoing huge losses. The bulls are break even, it's 2016. They're enjoying lots and lots and lots of profits. So that's slightly unusual. We should be sort of in between those two values normally. Okay, so let's come back to the COT data. Take off gold. So we're strong, but do note that the retail guys are making a little bit of profits. So we've got to be careful there. And gold off, and then we can look at New Zealand dollar, probably sideways, descending, still within that channel. It's a sideways, isn't it? Sideways chop. And I think the same with the Swiss franc as well. And then that's it. I'll wrap up the video, and that's it. Remember, we've got a free 7-day trial on patreon.com/QuasiDB. We've also got this COT data file that's available to all tiers above the Bulletin tier. So this is a nice little addition to when you sign up. It's a really, really powerful document, and you can use it on, you can change your time frames, you can change your currencies. You can also look at the hedge funds as well. You don't have to look at the net non-coms, you can look at the hedge fund sentiment and how they're positioned too. So I'll wrap up now. Pound's going to be off note. The dollar is kind of like just going sideways a little bit. We did tick low a little bit, and yen did get its support. It did find some support, but we are ticking slightly lower there. So you can see how we're trending low on the yen there, for example. So have a great weekend, and let me know if you've got any questions. I won't mind at all, and I'll speak to you guys on Monday. I wholeheartedly recommend fxsi.com and their indicators for MetaTrader 4 and 5. It's a 7-day free trial, so do have a look. There's no credit card required. You might be lacking in some sentiment awareness, analysis, and it does complement technical and fundamentals very well. Especially if you're very technical, you could be missing out on some sentiment, or if you're particularly fundamental, you could be missing out on some sentiment. This is like a sweet zone. It complements both, and it gives you a very strong bias about direction as well. So technicals are great for direction, fundamentals are great for direction, but the sentiment sits in between. Okay, and so perhaps if you're missing out on some sentiment awareness, these are the best indicators in existence in the world for that. And then you can have a look at this. You've got a 7-day free trial, and you've got your order book, and you've got your indicators, including the ratios, which are amazing. Just look at my videos on my YouTube channel and you can see how powerful the ratios are. And you can have a look. Just take your time. You've got 7 days to trial them, and if you don't like them, then that's fair enough. You don't have to renew, but we do have a code if you want to, and it's just the QuasiDB code, and it gives you a 10% discount, and that's it. So have a look, see what you think. And like I said, it's a 7-day trial, so you don't have to renew, but I think you'll probably find you will renew afterwards, because the order book and the ratios and the stop loss clusters as well are amazing. The stop loss clusters are great because you know where to target. Okay, so that's where you take profit, where people get stopped out. Okay, and that's it. So just a quick plug for the fxside.com, and enjoy your day.